Marvel could rewrite the history of its entire universe in the comics. The 60 years of the stories of the Marvel Universe would have been reconfigured, modifying part of the origins of the heroes in the comics. Marvel Comics would have reconfigured 60 years of their stories, rewriting the origins of the heroes on Earth. It all starts in the pages of Avengers and has continued in Eternals. When the House of Ideas released their first superhero comics, they weren't as directly connected and distant from each other. Over the years, the company expanded to include many people with great powers. Why are there so many beings with superpowers on Earth? Some Marvel creators felt they needed to explain why Earth was the only planet where so many superpowered people appeared, and why so many cosmic events centered on it. In Avengers, we see that the team's base of operations is the dead Celestial himself, called the Progenitor, who, billions of years ago, crash-landed on Earth, dying of an infection brought on by space parasites. The infected fluids of the dying god poured into the fertile Earth and changed the planet forever, turning it into a breeding ground for superpowered beings. Eternals number 12, by Kieron Gillen, Esad Ribic, and Matthew Wilson, shows how the Progenitor's bodily fluids were too noxious to produce stable alien life forms. In this way, the Celestials created the Deviants to play their role as stabilizers of the fluids. They then transmit the stable mutagenic substances to native biological beings on Earth, giving rise to stable alien life forms. This process reached its peak in recent centuries, making the Deviants the mothers of the Age of Marvels. The Age of Marvels could be said to be the history of Marvel Comics and their creations. The Progenitor's explanation made the origin of superheroes on Earth the consequence of random moments. However, discovering that the Celestials actually fueled said process means that everything that has happened in Marvel Comics in the last 60 years is the result of the Celestials manipulating the planet. This big reveal will be part of the background of the company's next event, Judgment Day, in which the celestial progenitor wakes up to judge his descendants, the superheroes of Earth, in the midst of a war between the Eternals and the X-Men. Explaining everything that happened in Marvel Comics over the last 60 years is perhaps too ambitious. On the other hand, some fans might find this big change disrespectful to the legacy and history of many beloved characters. Thank you for visiting our channel about comics and pop culture. Subscribe to Uncanny Collectibles for more exclusive information, news, and scoops.